Over here you have Queen's Park. That's where the government of Ontario resides. Over in this corner here you have Women's College Hospital. You have the University of Toronto, which is the largest science-focused university in Canada. That's where you learn to be a doctor and also scientific research. Over here you have Princess Margaret Hospital, which is a cancer center. Beside that you have the Mount Sinai Hospital, which is a general hospital. Beside that you have a rehabilitation hospital. Then on the other side you have Sick Kids Hospital down the street. You have Toronto General right here, which specializes in heart issues, things like heart attack. And then you have the Mars Center here, which is an organization to help businesses get off the ground, especially businesses in technology, medical devices, and things like that. Here's the building right there. And so we will take a little walk. This area is called the Discovery District, and that's because it's focused on education, medicine, healthcare, government, and all those kinds of things. So we are on College Street and University. So there's Queen's Park. That's where the government of Ontario resides and funds the healthcare system. Well, it's funded with taxpayers' dollars, but through the government. So we will take a little walk down University Avenue and check out Hospital Row. It's officially called the Discovery District, but lots of people call it Hospital Row just because that's where all the hospitals are. So if you have an emergency in Toronto, this is the place to have it because you'll get the best care. You have a subway station here, Queen's Park Subway. This cool building is the Hydro building. That's where we get our hydro from. It used to be owned 100% by the government, but the last government we had sold something like 49% of it. So it's 49% owned by private individuals and 51% by the province of Ontario. There's a shopping mall in here too. You got these bikes all over the city if you need to take a ride somewhere for a quick transit.
Hey! Over here! Hey, we're doing the camera!
Over here you got a Swiss Chalet, one of the few in the downtown core. You don't see a lot of them. Now here you have Princess Margaret Hospital, which is one of the best cancer centers in the world. They do a lot of research. People left messages here. For everyone touched by illness. These are all medical institutions, all these buildings down this whole row of buildings. Now, for people that don't live in Canada and who have asked me about Canadian healthcare, how it works, I'm not an expert. I don't work in the medical field, but I live in Canada my whole life and I use it. So I'll tell you how it works, and that is, well, first of all, let me check out this thing here. This is cool. This is an art gallery that's built into the Mount Sinai Hospital. So you can actually go in there and check out art while you're in the hospital. Okay, when you go into any one of these hospitals, if you have an emergency, you show your health card. In Ontario, it's an OHIP card. Depending on what province you live in, it's going to have a different name, but no matter what province you live in, it's covered 100%. You don't pay any fees. You don't pay for any medical procedures. You don't pay for the hospital room. There are no insurance fees like co-payments, or there's no deductible. You don't pay anything. You just go in, you get the care that you need, and you come out. Some people say, well, how is it paid for? It's paid for taxpayers' dollars. So the government pays it out of, taxes, just like they do fire departments and the police department or the military. All that stuff is just paid out of taxpayers' money. So whether you pay taxes or you don't pay taxes, you still get the exact same treatment. Everybody's treated the same way. So that's basically how it works. You can pick your own doctor. You can decide what hospital you want to go to. You have the freedom to choose what type of treatment you want. The government doesn't choose that. It's you and your doctor who decide what you want to do, what kind of treatment you want. Now the thing is, everything's covered except for when you leave the hospital. If you need to take medications, you have to find a way to pay for that yourself. Now most of the time when you work at a job, they have basic insurance, health insurance, that covers things like dental, eye care, and prescriptions. And if you don't have that, and you don't have money, the government has a program where they'll help pay for your medical expenses. Or if you're not working, they pay 100% of the cost of all the medication if you're on welfare or disability or some other kind of social assistance program. There's a whole bunch of different programs to cover different things. You might get a full subsidy, a partial subsidy, a temporary subsidy if you're out of work temporarily. There's different kinds of programs that you got to utilize that are run through the provincial governments. Also, if you live in a different province and you use the hospital here, you just show your provincial health card and it's covered. Each province will cover you. Now, if you move here from a different province and you want to stay here, it takes 3 months before you can get Ontario healthcare, a card, but you're still covered by your province for those 3 months. So you never really have an issue. Here we have the Sick Kids Hospital that specializes in everybody 18 and under. I used to come here as a kid. I've probably been to all these hospitals at one time or another for different procedures and stuff. And I have to say that I can only speak for me personally. I've never had an issue or problem getting medical care. When I needed it, it came really quickly and people did their jobs and I got good care. So I don't have any problems. In terms of finding a doctor, you're allowed to go to any doctor you want. You usually find them through recommendations through friends, like a family doctor. And then it's your family doctor who refers you for any kind of specific medical treatment that you need. Like if you had cancer, your family doctor would refer you to the cancer center, so then you'd have a specialist dealing with cancer who takes care of you. So here we are, Ted Rogers Center for Heart Research. This is Sick Kids Hospital. One good thing about Sick Kids Hospital is that they take a lot of kids from around the world that are poor and can't afford health care in their home countries. They bring them here and they give them free heart transplants, free facial repairs, different kinds of medical treatments, and it's covered by a charitable organization. So they help out kids around the world that have serious illnesses. It's also another world-renowned hospital, this hospital for sick children. They are raising money to build a brand new hospital. They're going to build a $1 billion medical center. So these hospitals are all of them have campaigns to raise money for new additions and to get the newest technology and to attract the best doctors from around the world to come here. Canada also trains a lot of doctors. Whenever you go for medical appointments, you'll have doctors who are students who are observing the appointment. Well, they ask you beforehand, do you mind if a medical student comes and watches or helps, participates? And they're usually foreign doctors from different parts of the world that are being trained here to go back to their countries and provide medical care, especially in third world countries. So here's another hospital. Here's Toronto General Hospital. They specialize in cardiac care. If you have a heart attack, that's where you're most likely going to go. They have the most advanced technology. And if you look back in this street here, there's other medical buildings, research centers. All hospitals have research buildings behind them where they do all kinds of testing. And so here you have the one side, and there you have the other side with the cancer hospital, Mount Sinai Hospital, which, by the way, I was born in this hospital. Then you have the rehabilitation hospital right over here. Discovery District, University and Gerrard Street. Sick kids. There's a little bit about the Toronto General Hospital and what it used to look like. And here is where we are. Okay, so we're heading north on University Avenue, and we're right beside the Toronto General Hospital. It's a really nice hospital inside. It's all renovated, completely new. When you have this large concentration of hospitals and medical professionals, it makes it easier to exchange information, develop new techniques, new technologies to basically network with each other. Another thing that's really interesting is the underground tunnels. There are underground tunnels under all these hospitals. So if you get treatment in this hospital, and they need to give you an MRI, and there's none available, they're all booked, they can take you across the street over to Princess Margaret, and you can get your MRI in Princess Margaret if they're not busy there, or one of the other hospitals. But there's tunnels under University Avenue to all of those, and also connecting to the Mars Center over here. It's all underground, and also food courts, restaurants. So you can, in the wintertime when it's freezing outside, you can take your walk underground and get your dinner at any one of the restaurants that are located there. Let's check out what this is. Oh, a garden. Okay. So, and like I said, over at the Hydro building, there's also another mall there with restaurants. So you have all these areas here with different restaurants. Okay. All the government office buildings are located in this area too. So when any of these organizations need to deal with the government, they don't have very far to go. They can wine and dine the government officials very conveniently. Okay, let's take a little walk inside the Mars Center. So I'll show you what this place is. It's a very high-tech, tech-focused kind of place. It's also, you can get to the subway through here too. But this place here specializes in providing finances for new tech companies that are doing medical advances and scientific testing and things like that. Mars Center. So you'll see this is very tech focused. It's a cool building actually. Right down there is the way to the subway, although there's an outside entrance too. I just saw a security guard looking at me. I wonder if they're going to bust me. You can't film here. Wouldn't be the first time. So if you look here, you'll see downstairs is where you can see a Tim Hortons there. That's where the food court is, and that's where the underground tunnels are to go to all the other buildings. And over here is where all the tech stuff is. Whenever you come in here during the week, it's full of people on their computers doing all kinds of things that computer wizards do.